Hello fellow crafters, Jadine here with another resin project. I have had it in my mind for a long time that I wanted to be able to suspend objects in resin and trying to figure out how to do that and it not fall over because you might have some memorabilia you want to preserve, but of course I didn't want to try with anything, an heirloom or an antique, so I decided to start with this quarter to see how I could suspend this quarter in resin. And I figured out how to do it. I got the silicone mold from Amazon. It's the same one that I made the beaded paperweight with. And figured out that if I used these clothespins that I could hold the quarter in a particular position and then use other clothespins to brace it against the sides of the mold and then only pour half of the resin in to start the process, that I could suspend an object. Now imagine you could use a medallion, a ring, a pendant, any kind of memorabilia that you would want to suspend in resin, as long as it's, small enough to fit within the mold. You can use this process. And here you can see what it looks like suspended with half the resin in the mold. So basically what I did was mix the resin in the normal proportions, half of the resin, half the hardener. Stirred it for 2 minutes as per the directions. You can see I had to fidget with the clothespins to get them to hold the quarter exactly in the position I wanted. And I think I mixed about an ounce to begin with, a half an ounce of hardener and half an ounce of resin, and then just filled the mold until the quarter was about halfway covered in resin. And then I let that sit overnight until it was hard and I could remove, and it was completely secured in place, and then I could remove the clothespins. Now, one of the things I realized after I had already poured the resin was that it would be very hard to pop the bubbles with a lighter with that all that apparatus in the position it was. So I took it out with a quarter, popped the bubbles with my lighter, and then gently placed the quarter back in to position with the clothespins so as to not create any more bubbling. And then I let it set overnight until everything was set up. And you can see it took a little time to get the quarter where it was, it's pretty even and parallel and symmetric with the sides of the mold. And now that it's completely secured in place and isn't going anywhere, I mixed another batch of resin. Again, I want to say it was between an ounce and 2 ounces, and slowly poured it in until I had the quarter completely covered with the resin, and then went back in and popped all the bubbles with a lighter. Now, one of the things I can tell you, I would not do this project with the type of resin that I've been using, which is the Famo wood resin, because it is slightly yellow in color when you pour this much of it at a time, and it is full of bubbles, and they're just impossible to get all the bubbles out. If I was going to suspend a piece of memorabilia, something that I would really want to look nice in resin, then I would use a jewelry grade resin, and I think they call it ice resin, and you can find it on Amazon and I'm sure at other craft stores. But this is what the finished product looks like. It was pretty cool. Everybody asked me, how did you do that? And as you can see, it was really simple. It was just a matter of taking the time to figure it out. And of course, it makes a nice little paperweight, or just a way to display a small piece of memorabilia. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great day, and please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe.